up, everybody? Welcome to episode 70 of EZPZ Podcast. I'm your host, Shaun Johnson. Joining me today, Trey.
What's up?
What's up, Trey? What's up? What's up? And we got Nick. What's up, Nick?
Damn it, I was going to say that.
What's up? Dude, every time you and I get one of those little what's up fits, you fall into that. Yeah. We both just start going, what's up? What's up? Bring them back. Bring them back. Yeah, everything's coming back, right?
Sure. That's about to be hip again.
Yeah.
You guys are ahead of the curve, I think.
We're coming at you from Studio EZPZ in Des Moines, Iowa. We've got a great show for you. We'll be discussing the Hatebreed Knocked Loose Terror Show, that Heartland Throwdown that was last Thursday here in Omaha, Nebraska, at SoundCloud Auditorium and SoundCloud Underground. Miami's Ultra got beefed up security. We'll be discussing like that post Las Vegas world that we're in Parkland and all these like shootings that we're seeing. Nick's got a back catalog of gaming and wants to discuss what he's currently gaming, and Trey's got some cool stuff he's going to be having on his stream today. But first, Toys R Us founder is dead at 94. I thought, when I saw this, I was just like, wow, what a series of events for one of the most beloved companies in all of our childhood. I mean, in the 90s, I remember going there so many times. I mean, just to see all those games.
It was the place, dude.
Yeah.
The number one place.
Yeah. So, not a pretty bow tie on this story, but I mean, wow, what a bunch of turmoil.
I think it's perfect. But anyway.
In its own way, it's kind of beautiful. A beautiful explosion of horrible.
Well, yeah.
It's going out fast and hard.
So just to recap you, we've covered this on the podcast a couple times, listeners playing at home, but we've covered that Toys R Us turmoil. So Charles Lazarus, cool ass last name.
Amazing.
Cool ass last name. He founded the Children's Bargain Town in 1948 at 25 years old, so younger than all of us. And then stepped up his game and brought out Toys R Us in 1957. So again, he was only 34 then. He's the CEO, founder, of course. He developed that iconic backwards R. And then in 1978, he brought the company public, made millions, I'm sure, then, in the 70s. Wow. And then stepped down in 94 as CEO and kind of just like took a consultant type role for the following years, obviously in retirement. Right. It's probably just a snowbird in Florida or something. I mean, what do you do when you retire and have
millions? Go to Florida. You go straight to Florida.
So, I mean, I was watching a couple of videos and some interviews with the experts out there, and the liquidation firm, they had one of their experts out there discussing what are the next steps. Well, so they filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They've got a bunch of assets, but they've got a lot of debtors too. So apparently they have 17 debtors. So 17 different companies Toys R Us owes hundreds of thousands, if not millions to. Yeah. Dude, they are making payments. They were making payments of $600 million. Ooh. So, wow. It's just insane. That company, wow. I mean, 90s?
They blew it.
Totally. They blew it. I mean, it's a confluence of events. I mean, that's what they're saying.
I mean, the death of the storefront kind of in conjunction with like a different style of advertising coming. Because like Toys R Us was always kind of that messy 90s advertising, and that did not play in the 2000s. That did not play.
Yeah.
But
speaking of their advertising, Trey, there was a lot of awesome tweets out the last couple weeks. And I've been like slowly like collecting them or favoriting them or whatever. Yeah. And it was just like showing all these ads, like, Sunday morning newspaper ads. Which I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, we used to like get that and read that almost every Sunday. Like that was our before or after church and lunch like activity as a family. Weird, right? But
did you ever get those catalogs, like the big ones? Me and my brothers and sisters, we would just like go in there, and it's like you get to circle one thing on each page, and that's what you would get. Okay, so we would just like go through circling a toy on every page. We were obsessed with that shit, dude.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, consumer habits are changing. Death of the storefront, as you said, Trey. We're not seeing kids with toys very often. I mean, kids are having, like, kids have iPads in their strollers.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I mean, that's better than a fucking toy.
Right, 1,000 different apps, 1,000 different toys, essentially. You know, games, there's social media, there's picture editing that kids are getting into, there's video making, there's so many different things. I was streaming Arena of Valor on my phone last night on Twitch, just by hitting, within the app, within the game, stream. Like, it wasn't even hard at all. And I actually had, like, 1 or 2 people come in. It was kind of crappy as far as, like, for, like, a viewer. I mean, I'm speaking to, like, king of awesome streams right here. But,
shut up, dude.
No, I mean, comparatively, you know how to have an awesome stream compared to, like, a lot of people out there. But, anyway, so Amazon e-commerce, death of storefront. Unless you need a toy like a bike or a sporting good, you are not going into Toys R Us. And I want to bring up again, just because Toys R Us rubbed me the wrong way out really bad in the last few years, because I was huge in Amiibo. And they've always upcharged by $1. Like, even, it doesn't matter. Every single outlet out there charged $12.99 MRSP.
I don't think I've ever, like, you brought this up a few times since I've met you, and I don't think I've ever heard Shaun as enraged as about the $1 upcharge.
It's just not fair, and it was just should have been like sign of things to come. So, like, if I had Toys R Us stock, I would have sold the crap out of it back then, because if you're gonna upcharge on a Nintendo product, a Nintendo toy like that,
that already is expensive.
Yeah, no one else is even $12.99 for a little plastic toy, which I bought way too many of.
Hey, whatever, dude. If you like them,
you're looking at my wall that has like 4 when I have like literally boxed 100 of them downstairs in the basement.
Damn. Those will be worth something someday. I don't think you made a bad buy on that.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I can honestly sell them and get probably 90%, if not a little closer to 100.
Wait till you're like an old geezer and like people are like...
I won't make it that far because Lydia's been hounding me to sell them.
Oh, come on, Lydia. Come on.
So, I mean, it's just like a really, really sad way... Beautiful in some ways to end this story with Toys R Us, right?
Yeah, no. I thought it was a beautiful bow on it. It was all falling apart. They were closing down. CEO dies.
Man, he had to see that like the last few weeks, months have been so horrible.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what pushed him over.
Well, honestly, dude, like, I mean, when your work in life is done, you know, you kind of degrade quicker. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have a purpose anymore.
Yeah, like when your partner dies.
Yeah. That happens all the time, dude.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
But, so, when your purpose is gone, like, I feel like you just, like, disintegrate. So
kind of give up.
Keep that in mind, you 50 plus boys.
The ones that are teetering on that snowbird age.
Oh yeah, no.
You got a lot of those listeners.
Death is closing in, and you need to keep busy.
Yeah, totally.
Dark shit.
This weekend, Ultra Music Festival in Miami. They're popping off. They always, every year, they crack open the spring music festival season, essentially.
Yeah.
Spring it just became a thing.
Yeah,
last week, right?
Like, it snowed.
Okay, the 20th. Yeah, I know it snowed here in Iowa, but
dude, it snowed all over the place, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard that a couple places got it real fucking bad, like up north or whatever.
Yeah, like a foot. But down in sunny Miami, Ultra just announced. Well, it was reported a couple weeks ago that they're gonna have beefed up security. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, it makes sense, I guess. With all the shootings and stuff, they just want to keep people's minds at ease.
For sure. Well, I guess here's what they had in store for the concert goers this weekend. Snipers are taking position in towers and buildings overlooking the park. They've got but if you think about it, that's actually been a thing for a lot of music festivals, but mainly the ones that are in big cities. So like Lollapalooza, they already had snipers.
Baller.
Yeah. They have armored rescue vehicles. The Marine Squad is guarding the Eastern Bay, and apparently the last couple weeks they've been scanning it to make sure there's no weird activity going on.
Sure, like someone else scouting it out. Yeah. Well, that's gonna put some people into some funky trips, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you just see a fucking guy with an assault rifle walking by. It's like,
man.
Did I just see that?
Yeah.
Or like... So why is everyone so violent all the time?
Flowers and the guns.
Shit. That was, wasn't that that shooting. What the fuck was it? I feel so fucking stupid for it. The flower thing with the gun. That was
I thought it was.
Never mind. Yeah.
Protest.
It was like the school, when the military shot the students for like peaceful protests or whatever.
Okay.
Kent State?
Kent State, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Fact check.
bad at history.
Fact check. We'll come back.
or remembering things that just happened. So like, do not expect me to remember the 70s well.
So Ultra, I was actually really surprised. They only are getting or expecting 50,000 people per day.
Yeah.
Which, to put that in context, Electric Forest has 45.
Yeah.
Ultra is viewed as one of the biggest music festivals in the U.S., if not the world. And EDC gets about 120 a day.
Which is insane.
Insane. So EDC is going to be in later this May. They moved it up from June to May due to the heat. There was a lot of heat situations where obviously 120,000 people packed in Las Vegas in June. That's just a little speedway, recipe for disaster. Yeah.
$7 bottles of water and
God, 10 probably.
10? Oh shit.
Man, to wait to get a ride to your hotel or like get on a bus to get to somewhere where there's like a hotel or housing. It's like you have to wait from like 2 in the morning to like 7 or 8 in the morning. It's literally like a 5 or 6 hour wait. Jeez. But there's some people out there, including our girlfriends, that want to go.
Yeah, it'd be great, but there's so many logistics there that it sucked.
I mean, there's so many other music festival trips.
So I was actually in Vegas, probably 4 or 5 years back during that for Magic tournament.
Wow,
It was the biggest Magic tournament up to that point, at least. Sick. It was pretty tight, actually. But
awesome.
So what did you see? Sorry, Nick.
Oh yeah, no, all over the streets, dude. Everyone was body painted, and everyone was wearing scantily clad festival gear. And
what is going on?
Then there was all sorts of maybe this was just Vegas, you know what I mean? Sure, but people dressed as trees, I don't know, all sorts of shit. I don't know.
Could be.
So obviously this is coming after a post Las Vegas shooting world that we're living in. Post Parkland, post all these shootings. Yeah, that's when that Nevada. What am I, Iowan or something? That Nevada man rented 2 suites on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel, smashed out 2 windows, gunned down 58 people. He died himself, of course, I think by suicide. Yeah. 1,100 bullets shot in 10 minutes. He had an AR, one of those AR stock things where it changes your sniper into an automatic rifle.
Shit.
Yeah. 500 people injured. There was even injuries, not to go back in time and kind of describe something so horrible, but and we already covered it, I'm sure, extensively, but I was reading reports this week in stories about that entire incident, and some lady actually tore her ACL because when she was running away, somebody next to her got their head blown out. They fell on her leg, and she tore her ACL because she tripped. Just think about it's not just people getting shot and bullet. There's buildings. There's so much ricochet. It's just how horrible could that be? It's insane. So I guess I just wanted to discuss your guys' thoughts on that. We go to so many music festivals. We cover a lot of music festivals here on the EZPZ Podcast. Thoughts on the beefed up security?
I do not know, man. It's one of those things where they say that having a gun doesn't help a situation like that, you know what I mean? But it seems like in this situation, having a gun is going to help the situation a lot. Because
I was just going to say, I think if someone sees all these reports of the beefed up security, they're not going to want to try, I guess.
That's totally how I feel. It's honestly, what does the most damage to their even thinking about doing this is the news reports and the 7 different news outlets are covering the fact that it's beefed up, in my opinion. So Ultra is actually probably one of the best examples of a music festival in production company, whoever, I don't know who's running it. I think they're their own company because they have 19 different Ultras worldwide. Right. They just announced Beijing, China actually for this June. But
that's gonna be lit. I'm headed there. That sounds fucking tight.
If I go to Asia, I'll go to Japan. I'm so dead set on Japan, but everyone else that in our friend group that wants to go to Asia wants to go to Taiwan or like
Taiwan?
I mean, just those cheaper
Sure.
countries where it's like you could see like 7 different countries there. You know, on the southeastern Asia. Pacific.
Yeah, Japan would be like visiting New York, honestly. Like a crazy psycho future New York. It just would be kind of too crowded for it to be fun. And I bet it would be really fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Like basically anywhere you... Yeah, no, I mean like if you go to like the smaller island type shit, that would be crazy. But going to like Tokyo or any of that shit would be like... overwhelming.
7 different freaking suitcases and checking 7 empty suitcases, and then I'm going out
just
there
like
with
buying
10K and I'm just buying a ton of Nintendo stuff. Coming back home. No, that's where I'm going. If I'm going on a honeymoon anywhere, I'm going there. Right. But anyway, so what I was getting at before I went on a tangent there, Ultra has shown improved themselves as a resilient music festival. So 2014, they had this horrible incident where everyone was geared up and ready to get in there, fired up to go in. I mean, we're at like pretty much the peak of music festival craziness in 2014-ish, 2015. Everyone's fired up. They trample over a security guard. He's left in critical condition. Actually survives because of those injuries. But they were warned by elected officials there in Miami to fix that stuff. So they started a whole bunch of cool initiatives, including like the amnesty box, which is you can drop off drugs and weapons and other paraphernalia without any questions asked. So like if I found a knife on the ground, I would, unless there was something like that, I would be kind of like a little bit skittish to like drop it off or, you know, give it to somebody.
Just don't touch it with your fingerprints. Like somebody stabbed it, throws it in the middle of a music festival, and then you like got your fingerprints all over in the amnesty box.
Yeah.
No bueno.
So I think the amnesty box is a really great idea that other music festivals could probably start using. I mean, they had 12-foot high walls at entrances to help people from trampling, like prevent that. Yeah. More security, of course. And clear bag policy, so you can't bring any bags unless you can see them, like see through them. So yeah, the results, 2015, they only arrested a couple hundred people but if you think about 150,000 people over 3 days,
you have to arrest 200 people?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that shit's lit.
Well, those are on for like low drug charges or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, for real quick, just for, to expand upon that, they only arrested 40 last year. Yeah, that's actually not bad.
No, that's really not bad.
That's like
but like 200 is like that's kind of like a big difference.
You think
like
so?
Yeah, 100 or I mean like 70 a day versus like 40 for 3 days.
I guess that's a good way to think about it, like 14 a day.
Yeah.
Versus how many people are there in the day though? What's that percentage? Super.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, no, it's like a non-existent percentage, especially considering how many drugs I'm sure are actually in there. Like.
Yeah. I guess I forgot to mention that this weekend here at Ultra, so they're on day 3 today, breaking the 4th wall. But they're on day 3, the final day. There's been 0 incidents. Of course, we haven't heard anything crazy going on, no shootings, nothing. But that's with the help of the 300 Miami police officers working the music festival. That's a quarter of the entire enforcement. Yeah. That's nuts. Yeah. First of all, Miami has 1,200 police officers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow. I guess it makes sense, right? It's like one of the biggest cities in the U.S.
Sure. I'm sure that just like all of the crime is there right now. Like, that's where all the crime is happening. Like, well, I mean, like, think about it. Like, what goes on in Miami, like with crime? It's like murders and fucking drugs. So, I mean, like, wouldn't it all just naturally migrate to where all the money is at that time? I don't know.
It's very possible.
I don't know. Maybe that's a little too deep of a thought for that, but
I think you're right. I think that you bring up some good points there.
I was reading in some articles that were saying like the residents actually hate the festival. I mean, most towns are going to hate when festivals move in. But they were saying that for I thought it was weird, but they were saying for the most part, the area is usually like really quiet, and they were just like making it sound like just a normal place where people are going to work out on the beach, and it was like just nice and fun. But yeah, I always kind of had the same viewpoint where I thought Miami was like kind of a bad place or like full of like crime.
So I'm sure there's parts that are like every city has different parts, you know, like, I mean, we have like the east side that's completely different from the west side, you know, and like when you have like an influx of like, what did you say, 130,000 people or 120,000 150,000 people into like one area where there's a festival going on, everyone's gonna fucking hate it that lives there, you know what I mean? It's just like nature of the beast right there.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like us when the fair comes, I guess, on a smaller scale.
Yeah, no, that's like actually a really good point. That's a 10-day... People from literally all around the world. We get all those elected officials. Like, who did we see last year? Lydia and I, 2 years ago, actually, right before the actual election, there were so many candidates. And if you didn't stop at the Iowa State Fair, you definitely didn't make it through the first, like, whatever it's called.
You done goofed if you didn't come to the Iowa State Fair.
You see that butt?
Just a good time. Good wholesome time for everybody.
I'm just gonna eat my 20 pounds of food and be good.
The Iowa State Fair, my favorite time of year.
My favorite time to not go outside of my house.
It's for my birthday. No, the fair is awesome. The fair is a good time. Speaking of Iowa, bringing it back home a little bit, there's some crazy news out there for one particular Iowa family. I'm going to throw it to you, Nick. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's a crazy story that unfolded this week. A family of 4 from Creston, Iowa. The father is a stock car racer, just kind of your normal small town Iowa family. They were on vacation in Mexico, and their family hadn't heard from them in like 2 weeks, and they were found dead in their hotel room. It's kind of strange. They don't suspect any foul play, but it just seems weird.
Yeah, it was like carbon monoxide poisoning or something.
Did they actually ever figure it out?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any actual reports saying like exactly what happened, but there's no bullet holes, there was no blood,
right.
They were supposed to be gone for a full week, so it was like the 16th to the 22nd or something like that, and or 14th to the 21st, and they never ended up. They didn't show up to like the airport to fly out, and they weren't obviously texting or anything. So like the family members that were supposed to be picking them up to take them home from the airport, they never showed up at Des Moines Airport or whatever. So that's kind of a bummer, and that's really messed up and sad. But no foul play.
So, I don't know. When I read it initially...
2 small kids, husband and wife, like just like you were saying, small town Iowa.
Yeah. When I read it initially, it just seemed weird that they would just all be dead. But I mean, I initially thought that too. If there was no foul play, then it must be carbon monoxide poisoning or something. But then, like, I thought I read something earlier in the week too about like something in Mexico, like there were like possible terror attacks or like bombings or something like that. So like, oh, what if something crazy happened? I don't know. Did they ever figure out a cause of death? Do we know?
I don't think they have exactly cause of death. They're conducting autopsies, I'm sure. I mean, it took probably a couple of days, sadly to say, but to send those bodies home, right? Sure. Wow. I mean, I was honestly expecting more of a crap storm, like in the media, as far as like scaring people away from Mexico, scaring people. You know what we're hearing, build out wall type thing. The MAGA crew out there on Twitter, I'm sure they're saying, wow, what do you know? I mean, they killed some of our own. I mean, it could be, as simple as carbon monoxide. You know, it could be as simple as that. What do you think, Trey?
Well, to be honest, I think that, like, the fact that we've heard about it is, like, the scare tactic, honestly. Because, like, I don't think that people go on vacation and die every fucking day. I don't even know why this is news, to be frank with you, because I mean, like, that shit happens all the time. Like, back in high school, like, one of my friends' dads fell off a river raft, you know, and like just they didn't find his body, like shit like that, you know. It's like all of the time, and it seems kind of unusual that we would even hear this story in my mind. But not to say that it's like a bad story or anything, but like it just seems odd to me because like that shit happens constantly, like a car wreck in Russia. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Just
do you think that it being a family that traveled to Mexico for vacation around spring break, if not on spring break for their particular school district, do you think it played a role in that with like the recent news with build a wall. I mean, our president's views on Mexico and trade and everything with them.
I don't think. I think it's too small, like, for it to really be like a huge deterrent from anything. You know, it's like if you had already bought your plane ticket to Mexico and you hear like somebody died in their hotel room and no one got shot, like, and it wasn't like a horrific scene or anything, like, I don't think that would deter you from going. You know what I mean? And like, how many people are in fucking Creston? Like, fucking 5,000 or
so like 1% of their population.
It's like one family doesn't go. Like, oh, bummer. Like, shit.
Yeah.
The old walkers didn't go to Mexico this year because they heard about them old Creston boys. Like, I don't know.
The Mexico Trade Commission definitely had a great statement. You know, of course, they said our prayers are out there for the family or whatever, but which is not my favorite thing in the world to say. But they made sure to say, like, hey, I hope this doesn't deter you guys from coming here. Mexico's generally this area that they were going to. I forget what it's called, but it's like Cancun.
It's a very touristy.
Yeah, touristy area. Like, there's this never happens. It's a weird one-off situation.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is it just seems like people randomly die every day.
I mean, and I get what you're saying with the vacations thing, but yeah, usually there's like an actual cause, like there's an accident.
Yeah, sure.
This was just weird because they were just all found dead in their hotel calmly.
That makes sense too. That would be a little more.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's not like someone fell off of like the side of a mountain in India and like it's like black and white,
right?
But it will be black and white at some point.
I'm more intrigued just about the cause of death. So I'm interested to see what happens when like the autopsy comes out or whatever. And yeah, if it is something just like carbon monoxide or whatever, then that's a terrible accident and that sucks. And then that's, you know.
Don't be going to Mexico if you're scared of carbon monoxide, I guess.
Bring a detective. Yeah. Oh.
Viewers, listeners at home, fucking, if carbon monoxide keeps you up at night, the thought of it.
Check your carbon monoxide detectors, and if you don't have ones in your house, buy them. It's seriously.
If you have an Airbnb, I want to see a line on there that says, "We have carbon monoxide detectors."
Yeah, no, or I'm not going.
Yeah, especially if it's in Mexico. Apparently, they have a lot of that.
We had to buy some for our new house.
Oh, really?
Because we didn't have any detectors.
I don't think we have any. What?
You probably should.
So wait, is your fire alarm like that detect?
Some of them have both that are like built in, so you'd have to check yours to see if they do. But
that's actually maybe something I need to look into because
it's just better safe than sorry, you know.
The word, well, yeah, because that's the worst way to die.
All this Creston shit's making me nervous.
Because you can't smell carbon monoxide.
I'm getting paranoid up in here, yo. So Nick.
What's up?
You've got a backlog of games.
Oh, yeah.
I've got the biggest backlog of gaming I think anyone that's ever gamed. I have games dating back to the N64 generation
that you didn't play.
Haven't played.
Oh yeah, who played every game?
I have a copy of Rampage from Sega Genesis unopened.
That's awesome.
Woo! I've got F-Zero unopened from Super Nintendo.
Wow, that's actually worth like $200-$300.
It's like the second gen, so it's like you know how there was two different kinds of cartridges.
Yeah, nope.
It's like the rounded edges on the cartridges, so I think it's probably less valuable because it's not first edition.
If it's unopened,
yeah, maybe we'll see.
Worth a good chunk.
We'll see.
Well, we've all
go to videogamepriceguide.com.
Is that the website?
That's what we used to use it.
We've all three been gaming a lot lately. I've been playing Fortnite. Trey, you are on twitch.tv/TotallyTrey. I mean, you're out there gaming more than all of us for sure. Yeah. Nick, so real quick, let's start with you. You're playing games.
Yeah, I recently bought the BioShock collection because I never played BioShock and I always wanted to. So they're, I believe, remastered, and it's like all three games: BioShock 1, 2, and BioShock Infinite. Yeah. Actually just beat BioShock 1 last night.
That game is like the best game from that era.
It was so fun. Like, I never really played. So what's it called? Is it first person? Is that
that's first person.
Okay. Shooter. I never really played many first persons like that, but I really liked it. Like, the gameplay was super smooth. I liked how the different weapons and stuff you could use.
Yeah. Or you can like go all in. Like, I ended up going all in on those like superpower shits.
Oh yeah.
And then you kind of just have your gun.
Yeah, agreed.
And it's like just makes it into like, I always go when I'm playing a game like that, go for like a weird option that like I feel like would change the gameplay, you know, because like I could like put it all into the shotgun or whatever, but I've done that a lot.
You know, rely mostly on that other stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. That makes sense.
Yeah, it was one of the first games where you're like dual wielding something. In my opinion, like so, like you have your gun in one hand, then you have your abilities in the other. Mm-hmm. Love the game. Actually, so BioShock was my favorite game. First player or single player, like story driven game for that generation. I think until Fallout 3 came out.
I still like BioShock better than Fallout.
Sure. Understood.
I just didn't like how Fallout, because I like to be fucking crazy in games. I don't like to just like play it in a boring way. And like Fallout, I would just randomly get it up my butt where I wanted to shoot some guy in the face because how he talked to me. Right. And then like the whole town is attacking me with pitchforks and like, Yeah.
I love that though. So when I played BioShock 2, I actually got, I think, 940 out of 1,000 gamer score because I loved it so much. Right. So yeah, BioShock, maybe I'm off on that, but I do remember like going out of my way to get achievements. I do remember it being one of the first 360 games I did that to. Going out of my way to get achievements I normally wouldn't, and I was like, wow, this is where I realized that achievements are changing the way I play games and in an awesome way. Like I'm trying new abilities or I'm trying a new way to play it. Kind of like how you're saying, Trey. You like to play games differently. So like that's what I really appreciate about Microsoft and the Xbox and how it always has had that achievement system built in since the 360 era. Of course, PlayStation came up with their own. Hopefully Nintendo announces their own on the Switch later this year.
That'd be cool. I was going to say, actually, I did see some similarities between BioShock and Fallout. Just like the way you could like pick up different things to eat or drink. Sure. Or you could like upgrade your weapons or...
See, what I liked about BioShock was more than anything the setting. Like, it was just such like a cool fucking setting. Like, I mean, we've all played post-apocalyptic games, you know? This was like post-apocalypse while the world was still going on outside of Rapture. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
the underwater thing where it was in that like almost like vintage era, like 1950s.
It's almost like steampunk in a way.
Yeah. Well, and I just love the idea of all of like the scientists wanted to like go find a place that was free of like what was it, where they could act morality. Like, you know what I mean? Morality and science. Yeah. And I've always been of the opinion that like there should be less morality in science, but like it's cool like to show like how bad it could get with something like that, you know.
And that's kind of, I don't know, can we govern underwater? Was that kind of like the whole thing? Like,
can we govern the airways? Can we govern? That's kind of what comes up in Infinite, that's awesome. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, morality and the governing of the underwater. Also the airways here in Infinite, which you'll soon find out because I think you said you're going to play all 3, right?
Yeah, I'm going to start 2 today probably.
So you beat 1 already?
Yeah, I beat it last night.
Awesome. How many hours did it take?
So Shayna and I were playing it back and forth. So like she would play an hour, I'd play an hour, just to like kind of something to do together. That's kind of what we've been doing lately, is like playing games together. But I don't know. I didn't really catch like how long it took us, but we played like a couple hours a night every night this week, so maybe like 10 hours.
Yeah, it's a pretty short game.
Totally.
Like, if you know where you're going, well, there's like a lot you can just like, you can fuck around for hours and hours, but if you like just like follow those like dots or whatever, I don't even think there were dots in that game.
It's like a little arrow.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe they added that into the remastered version because I remember getting lost as fuck in that game.
So I remember we did have it we used to have a 360 before we sold it when we first got together, and she had that game for a while, and I remember I did start to try to dive in and play it, but I was like terrible at games and I got lost like instantly and I didn't really know how to play it, so it's like I just put it down and never played it again. But
I associate you with gaming more than maybe and I don't mean this in a rude way, but more than I probably should, Nick. Because like you're definitely, your knowledge and your knowledge based on like nerd culture is, I mean, huge. But at the same time, like you go into comic books, you're huge, obviously in music and art and even tattooing and Sailor Jerry art and all that stuff. But like your knowledge on gaming, it's like you stopped at PlayStation 2, right?
Pretty much.
You played a little bit of 360 when you said you guys had that 360 and you guys ended up selling it. Mm-hmm. And then now you just got an Xbox One about a year and a half ago. Mm-hmm. Right before Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
And now you're back to gaming here. Mm-hmm. Yep. Just because, like, obviously it saves a ton of money instead of going out. You can spend $30 on a game instead of each of you spending $30 at the bar. I mean, and that's not even counting the Ubers, the crappy food that you're going to end up eating because you feel like crap the next day. Like, there's just so many like little things I'm starting to realize. The older you get, the more wisdom, the more experience. But like going out costs so much.
It really does.
It's so bad.
Yeah, and that's
not to bring like the conversation to that crap, but
no.
So BioShock. I wanted to ask you guys about the remastered situation. So I don't know if you guys have your fingers on the pulse for this, but it's kind of weird to have like a game that just came out. Like this collection just came out on the 360 era console generations from 2007. I think BioShock 1 came out to 2012 when Infinite came out, maybe 11. Now we're already getting a remaster of all three.
I think that they're taking cues from like
for a couple years too, by the way.
This came out like 2015 or 16.
Yeah, like I think they're taking cues from like the movie industry where they can do less work and make the same amount of money by taking a pre-existing like franchise, you know what I mean? And they're like just using that name brand basically to like propel their movie to the top of the box office. And I think they're doing that same shit with games where, okay, we know that BioShock is fucking awesome. There's a whole generation of kids that are super into gaming, that have lots of money for that shit. And they're like, okay, we can put this on a whole new fan base and then we can release BioShock 4. And now that we have everyone familiar with the franchise, it'll sell twice as much.
That's awesome. And it'd be sweet if they're gonna expand it again and make another one.
Oh yeah, I didn't really care for the third one.
Infinite?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, I'm in the same boat, but I'll let you go ahead and speak on that.
It was what I didn't enjoy about, honestly, the entire franchise is there's no consequence to death, really, outside of losing like a couple dollars or whatever it is, which is kind of irrelevant in the first place. And it just kind of bothered me. And then also, I liked the setting. I thought that it was cool that they were like, okay, let's take a whole new setting, but you're not going to put scientists in the air and have them develop this rail system where everyone's flying by rails around, like one-handedly at that. It's like, no, sorry, scientists, this is bullshit.
I thought the game was awesome. I thought like dying and regenerating was just fine, but it was kind of weird. Like if you got to a checkpoint, you'd go to that like. If you just barely passed it.
Oh, those little vita chambers?
Yeah, you would just regenerate to that, and it's like, I want to go back farther. I mean, there's like situations where that came into play.
The third one, you would just like literally just, like the girl would come up to you and you just stand up right where you were at. Oh, you didn't even go to a vita chamber. It was weird. Like double, triple lame. Like
I got that game right when it first came out, probably within the first week or two, and then I played it for a couple weeks. I didn't even get very far, and I just ended up putting it down.
Yeah. So you all played all three of them then?
Yeah.
So
of your 1 and 2 for sure.
Of the three, what was your favorite then?
One by like miles and miles. Yeah. The second one was fun because you got to play as like the big daddy.
Okay. So many more abilities too.
But it was like super duper lame. Like the story was like really lame. Lamer. And then I also just didn't like the mechanics of the game because you're spending like the whole game dealing with like the little girls. Right. And I just like, you had to like protect them and shit.
That's what happened in the last like lead up to the last like boss in the first one.
Yeah. And I just hate escort shit.
I know, Too much anxiety, like, and that's what I was gonna say with like Fortnite. I've just come to find that I've never been like that kind of competitive gamer like that. Like I've always like loved to play games just for the story, just to be super chill. I know I never really play on like hard ever. Like I just usually play on like normal, just to like go through the story and like have fun and enjoy it. Like I don't know, it's too much anxiety for me to like try to like, I need to be number one.
Man, that adrenaline rush that you get from competitive gaming there's nothing like it in just single player.
Like you were saying, you were getting pissed at Fortnite, dude. I had to set it down. Like I played like 30 games, 40 games maybe. I killed like 4 people. I'm just like, this is obviously not for me.
Sure. Yeah, I can relate to that, I guess, but like ultimately, like if I'm playing a game that's like not challenging, I will fucking kill myself or uninstall the game or not play it, you know.
I think it's also just because I never really ever played any games like that. Like I never played like Halo Online. I never played Gears of War. I never really played stuff like that. So
I don't necessarily have to be competing against someone. I just have to feel like
challenged.
Yeah, I have to feel like I'm getting better at the game. Sure. Because like games like The Last of Us or whatever, which is a fantastic fucking game. It's just I'm breezing through it, headshotting everything, and I'm like, why do people play this? You know, it's like
the story is like insane for that game. I mean,
I'll just watch a movie.
That's not a bad point. And apparently they are in development and talks of writing like that script right now. But I mean, I don't know. I guess you have a good point. Like that stuff doesn't grip me, and then I put it down. Like I played Last of Us for 4 or 5 hours, and I got stuck at this one part where you like throw a brick to like get past these like ghouls or whatever, and it's like to make a sound over there, and like thinking back to BioShock Infinite, why did I put it down? Well, it wasn't a bad game. It was a great game, if not amazing game. Yeah. But I just got like probably stuck at this one point where I didn't have like enough like juice or mana or like health or whatever to get past an area.
I don't think in that game you would have that problem. You probably just got bored of like laying down and standing back up, you know, like because that's what happened to me. Is like I remember the exact point. It's like I knew it should have been a really hard part, because it was like really close to the end of the game. And this guys shot me from 2 angles. I killed one of them. I stand back up. I go kill the other guy, you know? Like, I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done. I never wanted to come back.
Yeah, I noticed that too, because, anytime you would pick anything up or kill somebody and then you would die, it's not like they would respawn. They would still be dead and you would come back, so that was kind of weird. But when you get into those situations where it's not challenging enough, do you ever just like beef up the difficulty and then keep playing?
Well, usually I put it on hard to begin with.
Really?
Like almost every game. If it's too hard, I'll maybe dial it back. But I always would rather start hard and not. That sounds real fun. Start hard, but start on a harder difficulty and dial it back.
That makes sense.
Like I said, if I start breezing, I just don't care anymore.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I have a huge backlog of games, like I was saying at the top of this topic. And that's because of League of Legends. I started playing that in July 2011, and I played that game extensively for 2-3 years. And then when I met Lydia, I was still playing. And then I put it down for a while because I realized that life sucks when you're playing League. Well, because you invest all this time, but then you get taken down. You lose the game because somebody else on the team. It's 5 versus 5 is generally the most popular game mode by insane amounts. 95% of the people that play that, if not more, 99. And if one person out of the 4 other people on your team is feeding, that's meaning they're dying a ton. If they keep feeding the other team points or money or whatever, then you're losing. You just lose the game. It's almost impossible to come out of a 4 versus 5 in that situation. So I put League down. I revisited it multiple times throughout the years, but video games I went from Halo 2, not very long, literally 2 days on Xbox Live, to Gears of War 1, 2, and a little bit on 3. And then even the Gears of War Ultimate Collection I revisited just a few years ago. And so, I've been playing competitive games since 2007 or 6 when Gears of War came out. I got my 360, and in early 2006, Gears of War came out in 2006, Christmas. Played that all throughout the last part of high school, junior and senior year. I remember actually my entire second semester of senior year, I would play Gears of War till 3-4 in the morning, go to school, sleep all day at school, during classes, come home, sleep for 4 or 5 hours, then play Gears of War and from 8 till 2 or 3 in the morning, do it all again. I literally fell asleep after school every single day at senior year, second semester. So from January to May, that's all I did. I just fell asleep after school from 4 p.m. till 9.
Yeah.
It was I don't even know how I graduated. I remember, so for trigonometry, I was getting a 59%, which is an F, right? And I was all I have to do is get to a D-. So I just, my teacher, no. So on the final exam, he scores it and I'm at 60%. So I'm oh, sweet. Or 63%. Yeah, which I think is still D-. So I had to get to 64 to get to to get to D. I was like, fine, I'll do my best to get to a D. So he let me turn in homework that was due like at the beginning of the semester in for like half credit. So I just turned it, like did a whole bunch of homework that day and got up to a 64. Wow. But I mean, that's what I'm saying is like, I didn't give a crap about school. Right. I don't even know, at that point in time, I wanted to go to college only to work at IGN for like journalism. But anyway, what I'm getting at another tangent, but I've been playing competitive games for over 10 years now. Like that's what my bread and butter. I've completed a lot of story driven games. I'm looking over here at my Xbox One, my setup here in studio, easy peasy, and I've got Wolfenstein 2 on the top of my Xbox One. I got that for Christmas this last year. Amazing game. But then I downloaded Fortnite after the cabin, after we went to the cabin, right?
The cabin was a dark place.
Yeah.
Put me into a Fortnite hole for real. That was like the real reason. It's like, I was like, okay, I'm really good at the PC compared to this, so I'm just going to grind and grind and grind. And I've actually gotten worse.
Oh, you think so?
Dude, the past 2 days, well, so I think I was sick and my balance, like when my balance was off, like, I think I was just doing really bad because of that, but at the same time, that's just an excuse, you know? But no, I was playing 3-4 hours a day, every day for sure. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. But
so, real quick, I just want to say that I am not doing what you're doing, Nick, by being a good gamer and playing a bunch of new single-player games. I've been playing a lot of Fortnite in the last couple weekends. Last week, I played like probably 10 hours last weekend. This weekend, I've already played probably 4 or 5. I'm going to play a little bit today. I really love the game, though. I mean...
I'm obsessed with it.
Okay,
it's like really fucking... I like that they combine like the Minecraft... Like people like to compare it to Minecraft, but... Like, they just have, like, such a good business model. They're like, okay, what's popular right now? Battle Royale. How can we get the young generation in on it?
Touch base on that real quick, because we have covered it on the EZPZ Podcast. But what do you mean by Battle Royale? What would you say is the first game that did that?
H1Z1 probably, or Arma 3.
And the biggest one that did it, though?
PUBG would be, like, well, but Fortnite's, like, overtaken that by, like, 4 or 5 times now. Yeah. But it's like these games are battle royale matches, 99, 100 people enter a small map. They blow each other's heads off till there's one left. You can do team stuff, but it's more about the solo. No, it's definitely the squads are way more fun, honestly. Like
that's what you were saying, and you've actually, when I've been watching you stream lately, you've been playing with other people, either a duo or you've been doing like I think 4 or 5.
4 is the max. Okay, yeah. So we'll do 3 sometimes, and like just not fill the 4th spot just because we don't want a noob randomly coming into our game and taking all of our loot and like fucking us up and shit. Yeah. But no, that's what it's been all about. I've been playing with a bunch of foreign people, and it's been super duper fun. Like we've been winning all the time. Like that's awesome. Since I've started taking random people in to just play games with from the stream, like I've been winning a shit ton more. Really? Yeah. It's sweet. It's fun.
Yeah. I've been doing strictly solo because I don't have, like, Clem doesn't play. He doesn't have a PC that can hold it. He doesn't have Xbox One. Nick and I were thinking about getting into it, but now he's playing Bioshock, and I saw he's been on playing Bioshock, like, a couple times this week. I'm just like, I'm not going to bug him. He's playing Bioshock. And then you play on PC, so I'm
the crossplay will happen soon, and that'll be cool, but you'll be getting paired against PC guys that are going to be building like me. And frankly, that's horrifying.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I watched some last night, right before going to bed. I saw some people playing on PC. Trick 2G, one of my favorite streamers of all time. He is insane. I've never seen anyone build like that quick, and of course, I've never seen it on Xbox. Because
is he playing on Xbox?
No, he plays on PC.
Sure.
And it was it was insane. Like probably like I would say. Built 20 pieces within like literally 4 seconds.
For sure. That's not the way I play. I am more like running directly towards people and like just like build ramps, jump, you know.
So
like
when I do that on Xbox, I get shot. Somebody shoots out the bottom and then I just fall and take fall damage.
So what you can do, there's a couple of things, not to just give you tips on stream. This is for everyone at home that's playing Fortnite. Yeah. You can build your ramps too wide, so they have to shoot out 2 things. Or you can build a wall, a ramp and then a wall in front of it, so they have to shoot the wall, then the ramp. Or you can do both of those things, so 2 walls, 2 ramps, and they'll have to shoot out 4 pieces to knock you down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like there's some ways around that, but honestly, it's just about keeping on pushing on them until they're like scared as fuck of you, and then they panic.
I get scared.
Yeah,
so that's the thing. Is like I'm pretty good at shooting because first of all, this game is developed and published by Epic, I believe.
Yeah,
It's at least published by Epic, which if you don't know, listeners playing at home, it's Gears of War. I mean, that's the company that did the first 3 Gears of Wars.
I think they made the Unreal Engine too, didn't they?
Totally,
yeah. So like they're
Unreal Tournament.
Yeah, exactly. They've like built gaming as we know it, basically, and like it's
There's no one that does third-person shooters as well as Epic. So I'm used to like, if you're on the left, if you're behind cover and you're shooting towards the right around cover, you're at a way better advantage.
Yeah,
I know that stuff. And so like I'm pretty good at shooting, but the building aspect's really hard. And then when I go up against somebody, so this happens actually quite often. I'm good at one-on-one scenarios, close quarters, especially with a shotgun.
Sure.
Here's war.
That's like super important.
Right. But when I'm out in the open or I'm in a house and someone's coming up to me in the open and I don't have a long-range weapon that's good long range, I'll be shooting and then they'll just build up to me and then they'll get to me and I'll already be at like taking damage because I'm not able to build while they're building or something. Like, if we're both in the field, I'll see them first because first of all, I'm actually kind of surprised. I watch streamers I love it when you die, you're automatically watching somebody.
Sure, yeah.
Love that. That's a really, really good community engagement aspect to the game. But what I've noticed is when I'm shooting out in the open with somebody, I'll notice them first. I'll see them. I'll just see them right away. But then I'll start shooting at them with like my SMG or something, or I'll build up towards them, and then they'll just see me and they'll build up and like just annihilate me.
Yeah, you just have to know that you're the better player, like going into the situation.
Confidence is huge,
and if you have any opportunity to like be tricky or be more aggressive than them, you like take that immediately. So like if you're building up and he's building up, one thing you can do: hop underneath your ramp. Build up like a different ramp, kind of like an X, you know what I mean? Yeah. Underneath your ramp, and then they won't expect you there. They'll expect you coming up this ramp, so they'll be over here looking at this, but you're behind them. Ooh. If you can trick someone, I'm not very good at that yet. I'm not claiming to be good at it. I'm not good at it.
I've seen a lot of people do that kind of thing where it's like, they're really good about knowing where someone is on like their like build. But I'm like, you're looking the wrong way. But no, it turns out they were behind them or something like already.
Sure.
The sniper is weird because it shoots and then it falls. Like it dips. I'm not used to that in games yet.
Yeah, it's
realistic.
I'm real bad at it. But people say that are good at it say they love it. And it's better than a lot of games for that shit. But
anyway, so top off that topic. Did you guys have any like backlog games that you want to be playing or games?
So mine, Wolfenstein 2, that's definitely what I want to get to eventually. I have a NES Classic and an SNES Classic right there I'd like to actually get to and maybe capture and stream on. But I know, Trey, what are you playing right now?
I'm about to get on to some GTA 5, and then I have a couple, which I never played any of the GTA games the way they were intended to be played. I always just went on killing sprees or whatever. And anyways, and then I'm going to be playing like a couple like weird Choices Matter games coming up.
So you playing GTA? Okay. Sorry, I don't know if you've already said this like before the show or what, but are you playing GTA 5 for like the story, or are you?
Yeah, I want to give it a go. Like some people mentioned that there's like online play.
GTA Online is supposed to be insane. Like
yeah, I think at first, unless people are like really begging me to get in today. I'm probably just going to try to play the story mode for a while because I've been playing competitive online games nonstop and I need to just like kind of like Nick said, take a chill pill, stop having people shooting at me constantly that are good at shooting. I need some donkey brain NPCs shooting at me, you know. Like, just flip some cars and shit like that, you know?
So have you been in GTA before?
Never. I've only just, like, killed cops. Like, that's all I've ever done.
What about prostitutes? They need some killing, too.
Yeah, well, I would mostly hump the prostitutes, and then, like, while I'm humping the prostitutes, take my Uzi out the window and kill a cop. Like, that's, like, my style of GTA. Like,
God damn it. That's great. So, Nick, you got BioShock, you got GTA 5 today on the stream, and probably this week.
I'll probably do today and tomorrow and then get back onto Fortnite for the rest of the week and then do a weird game again on the next weekend. So
yeah, you were playing that like dating thing.
Actually, next Sunday I'm doing like one of those YouTube share things. Like, yeah. But that game was Super Seducer. That game was fucked up.
Super Seducer?
Yeah, it was a dating simulator made by the most misogynistic piece of shit on the planet.
Wow.
And it was hilarious and like honestly a pretty well made funny game, but like you like when you're playing it, he's basically down to like he's micromanaging you even to how you approach a girl, you know what I mean? Like he's like, oh, you have 4 choices. It's like, oh, you see a girl that you think is attractive. What do? Do you like turn and walk next to her, approach her directly from the front, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, you want to approach her directly from the front. This shows that you're interested. And it's like, whoa. I mean, maybe somebody needs it. Maybe it scared a couple neckbeards off of the way they act, but
weird.
Holy shit. I can't see it being a positive, like, for the world.
For the world, yeah. So did you play and beat it? Like, was it a short game?
Yeah, I beat it in 5 hours, but it was sweet because I hit, like, peak viewership of, like, my whole career.
What do you say that is? Is it just a niche game or what?
So I discovered it through, like, one of my viewers told me about it, and then I, like, went to a YouTube video, and you know the Gamer Donkey?
Oh, God, dude, Donkey?
Yeah.
Love Donkey.
Yeah.
One of my favorite YouTube, like, I know he's a streamer and stuff, but one of my favorite YouTubers.
Yeah, so he had streamed the game or done, Video Donkey, sorry, not the gaming donkey, whatever his fucking name is.
Donkey.
He had done, like, a series with that game or whatever when I was just, like, looking to check it out, and I, like, watched the first, like, 5 minutes of it, and I'm like, oh, this could be hilarious. And I think that there wasn't a lot of people that picked that game up other than him, so there was a lot of people that watch him. I'm sure he has like great viewership and like followed the game because that's something that you can do, and then like they saw that someone was streaming the game and there was no one else streaming the game. Wow. And like I already had that 10 people, so nothing draws a crowd like besides a crowd. So
that's actually really good. Like that's cool. Did you think about that? Was this like something you thought about before you did this? Because that's actually really a smart thing to do. Like for Drake, if it wasn't Fortnite, right? If Drake and Ninja weren't playing Fortnite, but they were playing like this really like neat, like if they were playing like Doom, the original.
Sure.
Doom, that would have gotten like 20,000 follows randomly because everyone was like, "Oh, this game's cool."
Yeah, sure.
Restream. Wow.
Yeah, well, that is a strategy you can use. Like if you see one guy, like so you see a game in the directory that has like 5,000 people and you click it and it's like 1 or 3 guys streaming it, you like fucking hop in there right away because people will like click like, what the fuck is this game? And they're like, I don't like this guy. What's this guy doing? And then you can get the run off.
Are there sites that will build that for you or show you like what games are?
They're trash. I don't like them. I think that it's overthinking the whole thing, and honestly it's just more about grinding, being on at the same time every fucking day.
Right.
Like not taking days off. I'm really bad about it. And then I think that Twitch is the worst platform to be on right now.
What? No way. Why?
Well, so it's easy to get paid right away because everything is like monetized or whatever. But I think that it's so oversaturated that it's outrageous.
It's the only streaming site though that people are making money on and being successful though.
That's not true.
Like what?
Mixer and Facebook. They're getting paid hand over fist there.
Mixer, I mean, Facebook's dropped so much support for Facebook Live though. Like they were
not for gaming though.
Not for gaming.
They're like actively put their hat in the ring in that. Like they're buying streamers off of Twitch to like promote it.
Really?
Yeah, so like there's this guy
We're gonna see a Drake Ninja.
Not on Facebook. Like Ninja's like in a place like it's the biggest platform for it right now, but it's not the fastest growing. So and you're competing against 2 million streamers. But anywho, we got to wrap up for old Nick. He's got family shit today.
Yeah. When do you have to bounce out here? How much time do you got left? What'd you say?
I can take a couple minutes.
Okay. So I wanted to really, really briefly then, I'll turn this down to like, because I have a huge fat text to myself. I'm showing you guys on my phone, text to myself, details of the Knock Loose, Terror, Heartland, Throwdown. So it was kind of weird, it's kind of crazy. This was held in Omaha at Sokol Auditorium, Sokol Underground, dual the upstairs and the downstairs essentially of this really awesome but smells like piss venue. So I don't know if you guys have ever been there.
No. No, I have like back in the day for sure.
So Auditoriums has like a really bad sewer problem or something because it always smells like piss. I don't get it. I've seen AFI there, Panic at the Disco, bunch of artists. Some of my favorite shows have been there in Omaha for sure. Anyway, it smells horrible. We show up, we get there at 7:20, Knock Loose is on. And I'm loving it. We walk in the door and they have like that interlude after Dead Ringer, which is like that weird like R&B type thing.
Oh yeah.
So that's playing. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go, baby, because they were supposed to play at 8 and they ended up switching with another artist. So they're playing the Auditorium. I'm super jazzed to see them in a giant venue like this. And this Justin Rung, friend of the show, he's been on the podcast before. He was like laughing. I'm like, look over to my right. I'm like, he just came out of the pit and he's like sitting there laughing and pointing at somebody in the pit. I'm like, what's going on? This kid in this Keepers of the Faith, Terror, white hoodie, black lettering, Keepers of the Faith on the front. He's like looking at people surrounding the pit, like the outside of the pit, and he's just pointing at them, pointing at his Keepers of the Faith shirt, pulling up his hoodie, pointing at his Terror shirt underneath, and then he would rip up his the back of his shirt and hoodie to show his shoulder blade, which had like a Terror tattoo of some sort. And he would be like, yeah, I'm a Terror fan, and just keep going crazy. He did this like around the entire pit. People would run into him because it's a mosh pit, and it wouldn't faze him. He looked like he was crying. He was really ugly in the face. Anyway, he's just super ugly in the face. But he's doing this the entire set during Knock Loose. We're like, what the heck's going on? Okay, so that's phase 1. Phase 2, we go downstairs in the underground. Terror comes on. I loved how this was set up. So a band would finish in the auditorium, then they would start within 5 minutes in the underground. Run very smoothly. Shout out to Austin Gall out in Omaha, who does Three Strings Productions. He's part of that. He put on this show, the biggest show he's ever put on. And wow, booked, and it was amazing how quick and perfect and ran smoothly. Okay. The crowd, so I would say the ticket sales were pretty good, 70% maybe of total sales. But anyway, so Terror comes on. I knew this kid was going to go crazy. At this point in time, it was kind of like a joke because me and Shelby and Austin Bush were all laughing at this. My sister Shelby Johnson, we're all laughing at this kid. He's doing the same thing throughout Terror. He's really loving Terror. He's going crazy. He's at one point in time, I think it's Keepers of the Faith. I think it's that song, that actual song comes on. Okay. Yeah. He looks at the crowd. He hears Scott Vogel's on. If you're a Terror fan, you know this song. Everybody, let's go. And first of all, I love Scott Vogel. He's an amazing frontman. Okay. The song comes on. He instantly, his face turns completely red, which it already was. Didn't think it could get any redder. He goes red in the face. He starts tearing up. He puts his head in his hands. He's starting to cry. Dude, at this point, I'm like, respect, man.
This
passion.
Loves fucking Terror.
He loves Terror. Loves Terror. He went pretty crazy. He was like getting on the stage, crowd surfing, going nuts. Okay, finishes Terror. You guys understand he's been crying at this point.
Sure.
Respect in my book, not making fun of him. Kind of, sort of am. Terror finishes. He gets up on. Throughout the set, he was on stage before he jumped off to like crowd surf. He was showing Scott Vogel his shoulder blade tattoo.
Dude, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, while Scott's trying to do vocals, like,
check this out, bro.
Yeah. So, he gets on stage after and he's talking to Scott. He's like, I love you. He's freaking out. Okay, so at this point, I'm like, this kid has to be... He's not screwed up. I thought he was
on the spectrum.
He's on the spectrum of, like, he might have maybe a disability or something because he didn't seem drunk. He just seemed way too wound up. So, like, maybe meth? I don't know. He was so ugly in the face, I wouldn't understand. So, anyway, he gets on stage. He's yelling at Scott about how much he loves him. I can't hear him. I'm too far back. And I had ear protection in because I'm old. But he starts poking Scott Vogel in the chest. Gosh. Yo, I love you. Oh, freaking out. He rips up his shirt, his hoodie and shirt and shows him his shoulder blade again. And Scott's like tapping him on the shoulder blade going, oh, this is cool, man. And he's like actually like putting his hands up like, dude, chill out. Like, chill out. He's just trying to pick up and help clean up Terror's sets, like their equipment.
Yeah.
Okay. Eventually, he gets off the stage and Scott's like looking at his bandmates like, what the heck? Dude was like mega crazy. And he starts walking off. He's like crying again, walking away. He's like huffing and puffing about how epic that was. Crowbar comes up. He's nowhere to be seen. We go down to the Acacia Strain after Crowbar. He's doing the same thing. He's still pointing to his hoodie. He's still, Terror's done, dude. You don't have to tell people. He's still doing it.
Oh my God.
The Acacia Strain finishes. We go up for the big mammoth Hatebreed, right? And in the auditorium, holy crap, Hatebreed. He's doing the same thing. Terror is done. Yes, the entire show. So we got there after like 4 or 5 bands. I'm sure he had done it before Knocked Loose, right? It was just wow. Okay, the climax. We're getting to the climax.
There's a climax?
Yeah.
I thought Scott Vogel was the climax.
He's doing hate
better.
Okay, guys, have you ever seen Hatebreed? I know you have, Nick. Our first concert together.
Yep.
3 weeks after I met Lydia. 1 week after I met you. We went together to see Hatebreed Every Time I Die in Iowa City. Okay, I've seen a Hatebreed mosh pit, and there's almost nothing quite like it.
I
First of all,
saw a Laser Fest one, so probably not that tight. Yeah. It was like relatively not tight.
I will say the Omaha hardcore did not show up.
Yeah.
The crowd was very tame, but that may have been because there were so many signs up around saying no mosh pits, no crowd surfing, we will kick you out. That still happened. Like there were still people that were mosh pitting, crowd surfing, but that may have been a reason why it was so tame. Anyway, lots of drunk bros, lots of drunk 40-somethings, 30-somethings in the mosh pit.
Yeah.
Okay. Kids doing that in the mosh pit of a Hatebreed show. He gets jacked in the face. He falls down, and his face is like still ugly, of course, like getting jacked in the face. But he hurts his ankle, so he gets up. He's like hobbling around. He's starting to like cry. I think again. I can't tell.
Oh my God.
At this point, he's just been like crying nonstop since that terror.
Well, I feel bad for this kid.
At this point, yes, I was telling this to Lydia Friday, and she was like, "Shaun, you need to stop. You need because at this point, I feel bad for him." Okay, so he's hobbling. He actually has like some people helping him out of the crowd, right? And he's putting his arms on a bunch of people to hold himself up, and because I think at this point he's a little bit drunk, or I don't know. But I never saw him buy a drink. I kept seeing him buy water. Okay. So he puts his arm on this really bigger girl that was talking to Justin before the show. So I had like known her. I'd recognized her face. And she like slaps his arm away, and she pushes him. And he like falls back onto other people because he's hobbling and he hurt his ankle. He's like, I'm hurt. He's like screaming at her, I'm hurt. She's like, back off. And she's putting her finger in his face. She's like, first of all, she was being way too aggro, honestly.
She's horrible. I know who you're talking about.
Oh God, dude, yes.
I got into a fight with her.
Oh my God.
It must have been like Turnstile and like some other hardcore shit, or like Newfound Glory or something.
So we're at the climax here. She is yelling at him. He's yelling at her. He pushes her. She pushes him again. He falls over. He gets back, helped back up. People are starting to take him out. He turns around and jacks her in the face.
Oh!
Straight up punches her in the face. First of all, I didn't think that he hit her in the face at first until after the show. I was told he hit her in the face. She just went berserk and swings at him, misses. And at this point, Alex Bush, I'm like, I back away. I'm like, I'm not part of this. I'm actually like, all right, I'm about to talk about this on a podcast. That's what's going through my head. Alex Bush, being the guardian he is, he runs up, picks the guy up, takes him to a security guard. They kick him out. Later on, the security guard came back and like, thank you so much, Alex Bush, blah, blah, blah. You did such a great thing. We had kicked this guy out multiple times earlier. We don't know how he got back in. So that was
in through the roof to see
yeah. So that's my experience.
That's insane.
Didn't even say anything about the show, which was amazing. And like I said,
yeah,
Austin,
the lineup's sick.
The lineup was amazing. I missed Jesus Piece and Twitching Tongues, which sucks. But work. I'm an adult. We had to travel to Omaha. I came back, and I will say, just to cap off this, thank you, Nick. I know you're gonna be rushing, but just to cap off this topic, it was really cool to go to a show on a work night, on a school night, but like, and actually go and like have a lot of fun, and then go to work the next day. You don't need PTO. I didn't drink a sip of alcohol. Don't need it at a hardcore show, in my opinion. That's just how I know, Trey. That's just how I've always been. But
I couldn't listen to that shit without booze.
I'm the opposite with that, but yeah, no, it was awesome. That story I knew would be a killer.
That's crazy.
So, thank you for listening. Listeners playing at home, you can find the EZPZ on Facebook. We publish to Facebook, SoundCloud, YouTube. You can send us your letters at the email address, TheEZPZPodcast at gmail.com. Nick, where can they send those?
TheEZPZPodcast at gmail.com.
Trey, what is it?
Easy peasy and I fucked it up. TheEZPZPodcast at gmail.com.
Send us your letters. We'll feature you. Send us your topic suggestions, anything. Honestly, we'll feature you. TheEZPZPodcast at gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Shaun Johnson. You can find me at Shaun Johnson, at TheEZPZ, of course. Tweet at us, too, if you don't want to use email like an old geezer. That's funny that old geezers is the ones that use email now. But
Right.
Nick, where can they find you?
Nick Gandy at SoundCloud, bazooka_Nick on Instagram, Nick Gandy Art on Facebook.
Yeah, Nick Gandy Art on Facebook. Get out there. Check out the bookmarks. You've already sold a couple. Yeah. So that's pretty tight. And you'll take like suggestions, right?
Yeah. If you want one, I will make it. Just let me know.
Sweet. Thank you very much, Nick. And Trey, where can they find you?
Facebook.com. You just search up Totally Trey, and that's my page. I'm going to start streaming on there this coming week.
So are you going to dual stream with Twitch?
No, I'm just going to take a break from Twitch, give it a week on Facebook, see what that's about.
See how it goes.
If there's some
no
good
ad revenue, though.
Not yet. I mean, and then there's tips still. There's always tips, So, I mean, I'm more concerned with like growing than getting a little teeny pittance of a paycheck. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, anyways, and then Totally Trey at, or Totally, I don't even know, dude. You'll find me if you want to find me.
/Totally Trey, totally.Trey on Instagram, totally_Trey on Twitter.
Well, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah. Look for Trey. I'm going to coordinate with Trey, of course, and we will be sharing where he's when he's streaming on Facebook here on the EZPZ Facebook page this week. Thank you for joining us for episode 70, listeners.
Later.